Oh, biscuit. Well, if I do. See, I'm on a bit of diet this week. Our last evening.
And I feel really sad.
So do
I do, I feel really, really sad at the thought of having to go back to the UK. Even though we've had ups and downs here, and I've had a couple of days where I have had some tears of frustration more than anything. I can just imagine my life doing the things we want to do. Even though the garden seems like a huge mammoth task, I want to be doing it.
But everything when you live in here is step by step.
Yeah, I know.
Mouthful by mouthful, bit by bit. And we know that. We know that there is a lot. I think this week, where we knew there was a lot anyway, I think we're probably realising it's a huge thing. In actual fact, isn't it?
But we should know from previous experience.
Yeah. But I think that's why we did. I think we did, but I think we were hoping some of it might not need touching.
The thought of having to go back to the UK and go back to my job and working in an office and doing that stuff again in cold grey Wales.
Our minds are here, aren't they? This is where we want to be.
But this is the life I want to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, even with the difficulties we've had with the water taps and things like that.
We've not had an oven all week.
Or a shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Big tub of water.
I don't care. It wasn't that big,
but I am looking forward to tomorrow night's shower.
Yeah, but I'm even looking forward to the tub of water.
See how your standards have dropped.
Yeah, I know.
But no, tomorrow night's shower is going to be good.
Oh, tomorrow night's shower is going to be
the hotel we stay at in Sofia before we go back on Sunday morning is really nice, and it's got a real powerful shower that just seems to stay hot forever as well. So you can just literally stay in there. It's
bags you need first, just in case there's no hot water for you. Yeah, lots to do, and we will probably have to rent somewhere before we officially finally move into the house.
I think if we can find somewhere nearby to rent, I think that would definitely be a better idea.
Close to Churchland.
That way we can just come over every day, do bits and pieces,
and oversee the project as well.
Because the problem is, you sort of otherwise we're going to be trying to do stuff and living it at the same time. It's going to make it a lot harder. Whereas if we can just cut the electrics off, restart, which is effectively what's going to happen, because there's 3 little fuses, whereas for the entire house.
Exactly. I feel happier about that.
So obviously the electrics is effectively starting again, but at least it will be new electrics, and it will be geared up towards the fact that obviously there's more modern appliances nowadays. So it needs to be that little bit stronger, a bit more effective.
I think this week, I had plans in my head about what I thought we could achieve, and I watch a lot of the other YouTubers who are already here, and they live in houses like in a worse condition than ours, and they're living in them. And I think people have made comments about, why haven't you finished doing a room, complete a room? But it is really difficult when you're here because there's so much to do. You kind of do a little bit in one room, a little bit in another room. The weather can dictate what you do, so you never quite finish jobs.
But there's no
race.
There's
no urgency.
There's no race to get it done.
There's only the urgency that I really want it done. But
there's no real time scale to get it done. Eventually it'll get done. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we know that if you stay somewhere for a while, and suddenly you think to yourself, we've done it before.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
the
second house in Innsbruck probably the biggest example of that. We put a door in somewhere, we did something else, and then when we started living there, we never used one door ever, because it was just like we didn't actually need
our
it.
bedroom,
We went out. We thought, nice, I can go away there, go out towards the balcony.
But to be fair, we rarely used the balcony, and that's another thing. We used to sit under the balcony because it provided shade from the sun. But when it's really, really hot, which it gets so hot here, you do seek shower. You don't want to be sat out on your veranda. on the balcony, even though the
Burning
views are
turquoise.
lovely. Yeah, Darren's just crazy because he waits for birds with his camera, with camo over him and melts, you know. But that's just nuts. Normal people don't do that. Normal people seek shade just like animals do. Yeah. So yeah, you can't, you know, you can't do everything that you want to do all in one go, sort of thing. You just have to do bits and bobs, and then things will go wrong, which means then you don't have the materials you need to fix them. So you have to wait until the next day or whatever. So yeah, it's difficult. So
yeah, there are definitely some negatives.
unless you've got loads of money,
positives.
to get someone in to do it all in one go. Yeah.
We've done that before, haven't we?
Yeah.
A couple of times now. We've had the work done before.
We do get a lot of work done by other, like builders will do it for us.
It's not that I wouldn't be able to do any of it, so to speak.
It's that I get frustrated waiting for him to do it. You know, he took 7 years to hang 6 doors in a house, and the only reason that he hung them, we bought them. The only reason he hung them was because we were selling the house, so they had to go in. So yeah. I was watching Bournemouth to Bulgaria last night, and Lewis, there were questions being asked in his live feed that he did earlier in the day that I missed, and someone had said about him like uprooting his family from the UK to come here and it being a bit irresponsible, you know, with not much in the way of money and funds. And yeah, I guess it is really, because it's the unknown. And I mean, when we left the UK to come here, people would say, well, like, what are you going to do? And we were like, I don't know, we're just going to go and try something different. Yeah. Because we couldn't picture working until we get to retirement age, doing the same thing day in, day out. So
which is the norm.
The norm, yeah. And I think that's the point, is that a lot of people in the UK just think that we work, we pay our bills, if you're lucky, and until pension, and that's it. And then you retire, and then if you're lucky, you get time to retire and enjoy it.
I think there's that, if you're brave enough, like the guys you're just talking about.
And like we did when we were 20.
Why not take a chance? Why not try?
Exactly.
Also, worse is you end up going there.
Think of what is the
But at least you've tried it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. It is, you know, there is, you know, it's the old saying, isn't it? Don't regret things you've done. You'll regret things you haven't done. And it's true.
Definitely.
You know, when we came out the first time, we didn't know how to.
No.
We didn't know if
we had no plan. Whereas in the UK, we always had like 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
We knew we'd have to work.
And all we were doing was paying the mortgage.
But we knew we'd have to work at some point.
Yeah.
That was a given.
Yeah.
But we just assumed that at some point or another something will happen. Mm-hmm. And it did.
And like Lewis was saying, is that people in the UK don't realise how little amount of money you can live on here. Because you can. If you choose to have a simpler life, and that's the other thing we discovered when we came here, is we wanted a simpler life. We enjoy the simpler life.
It's the quality of your downtime.
Yeah.
And you get a lot more downtime.
Yeah.
The majority of people will do exactly that. They'll get up in the morning, go to work all day, come home, have some tea, sit down, watch TV, go to bed.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. But it doesn't actually have to be like that. And the UK at the moment feels so negative.
Why not try something different? There's lots of not so good bits. If you've got an opportunity to try something different,
just
do it.
It
doesn't matter what it is.
Don't think what is.
Even if it's in the UK, you've got an opportunity to change your job. You know, even if it's going to be tough for 5 years, you've got to realise that 5 years is absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Do it now before it's too late. Don't go wait until you're sort of my age and suddenly think, oh, I wish I'd been a plumber. I wish I'd learned this. My age is probably. My age, it's probably a little bit too late to be thinking like that. But
never too late.
But yeah, there's a lot of people. That's what I say. There's a lot of people my age who are still learning and doing degrees and things like that, and changing their life.
But then you've done that by learning about birds, because you didn't
absolutely.
Know
I didn't know anything about it. I embraced it and loved it. It's great.
Exactly.
And doing something you enjoy, it's not like working anyway. You know, it's different.
So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, people in the UK, if you're unhappy with your life and spending so much money on things and you're still not feeling happy even though you're treating yourself and buying these things, And
do something about it.
And you want to know, is there something different? Is there a different way of life? Yes, there is. There is. Don't be afraid to embrace it, even if it's bloody scary, because it is scary. We're doing it the second time, and it's scary.
There's only one real person who really cares whether you're happy or not.
Yeah.
And it's you.
It's you.
You're the only one who can change it.
Yeah.
It's up to you to take that chance, take that gamble.
And lots of people say, "Oh, you're so brave doing it." But I think that we're not. I feel really happy that we're escaping the UK. And you're more brave, really, to carry on living that life, to be honest.
I think it's just find something that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
Find something you really enjoy.
And yes,
I've always said this to youngsters.
It is brave.
I've always said this to youngsters. Find something you enjoy and do that for a living.
Yeah, and you've always said about travelling. If you get the chance to travel.
Definitely.
And I totally
just see what it's
agree
like
with
to
that.
live somewhere else.
Because when you live
Other
somewhere else
customs.
and meet other people, it just widens your horizons. And
Achieved.
unfortunately, I think we might as well get going. I don't want to go, but and I can definitely feel we're both feeling down, like we haven't got much energy, like we're lacklustre and solemn.
Back to
Yeah.
normality for.
Well, yeah.
So
So we're going to say goodbye
Yep.
from not so sunny Bulgaria at the moment,
No, but it is in the evening.
but it
now,
is
so
20 to 7 in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
evening.
So
So we're
much
gonna
cooler,
say
from a
goodbye.
cooler Bulgaria than it was earlier.
Yeah.
We'll say goodbye and hope you're happy where you are. We're certainly happy where we are.
Yeah.
Okay. See you later, guys. Stay safe. Keep smiling. Bye. Speed limit's 140 kilometres an hour on the motorway. I tend to do about 120 to be fair. If I need to overtake etc then I will use 140. But they do bomb down here. Even when you do 140 they come flying past you.
But at least they do have some slower signs for when it's icy, because we were watching that documentary, weren't we, about terrible driving.
They've had them for a while, people just don't do them checking the mirrors.
No.
I've spoken to Bulgarian friends before about the driving in Bulgaria. Sometimes it's just mad for a country where they're generally laid back.
Yeah.
On the roads, they tend to be a little faster.
Yeah.
On the motorway, it shouldn't be as bad because obviously this isn't 2 lanes. It's only 2 lanes in each direction of the motorways. But we've seen a documentary recently about how bad some of the accidents are, and trust me, there's an accident on here that's going to be fatal. Absolutely.
With lorries.
No two ways about it.
Usually, isn't it?
We've seen some crackerless things. Probably the worst one I've seen was the first time I came back on my own, just over a year ago. And I was going down the motorway, and on the hard shoulder, which you obviously shouldn't be driving anyway, there was an old boy. And as I went past him, I could notice he had a neck pillow. And I thought, well, this can't be a good idea. So as I drove past, the car behind, I noticed, obviously in my rearview mirror, the car behind me had to pull out because he drifted out. He literally, with no indication, no nothing, just drifted out, and he went right out to the middle, and then suddenly went back again. So I can only guess that he actually drifted out. The car behind me had to beep him, and he obviously woke up and went back into where he was, but he didn't drive it in there in the first place. It's not another lane, it's an emergency lane, you know. I think there's a lot of people still don't understand the roads out here. They have these old cars, and suddenly they're allowed to go 140 kilometres an hour in it. The car's not up to it. And the thing that would worry me most about doing excessive speeds here is there's a lot of people, you're putting your life in somebody else's hands every time. You might be the world's best driver, but if the guy in front of you or the guy behind you is is an absolute idiot and doesn't understand what he's doing, your life is in their hands, not yours. And I just don't think it's worth the risk, to be fair.
You always say that cars are murder weapons, don't you?
They are. I think people have to remember that this is a lethal weapon that you're driving.
Yeah.
You hit somebody, they're going to know all about it. They are definitely going to come out worse, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, that's the way it is. And you just have to, it's easy to lose sight of that. We use them every day, we jump in, we go to work, we come back, go down the shops in it, whatever. But at the same time, there are speed limits. They're there
Killing
for a
machine,
reason.
isn't it?
And think about it, and don't forget it's up to 140 kilometres an hour. Not you have to go 140
You have to aim
kilometres an
for
hour.
it.
Let's see, as a target.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to keep your wits about you. Driving here is no real different to driving in the UK.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful.
But you can go a lot faster.
But you want it, yeah, absolutely. Put your foot down and hammer it.
I think the good thing is it's not particularly busy. I mean, as you can see, it is a Saturday and there's just hardly any traffic on the road, really.
My driving instructor said, imagine every other driver on the road is an idiot.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they'll prove you right.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's probably pretty good advice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So Darren is helping out at Green Balkans. I think I'm going to move because he's aiming it at me, obviously. As Darren said, just bucket and fetch it.